is an ongoing issue with eggs nowadays. There is a shortage, there is an increase in prices. People want eggs, they can't find them, and whoever finds eggs, they are paying a lot more. Eggs are being stolen. I mean, there is the whole 9 yards going on with eggs. It reminds me of the toilet paper issue that we had some time ago. Well, here's the problem. How can you secure your own supply? Well, if we're talking about chickens, that's a little hard nowadays. Let's focus on something different. Let's focus on little nuggets. I'm talking about quail eggs. If you didn't guess it by the looks of the eggs. Small, little tiny things, right? But if you add more than one, you add three, well, three, sometimes four is the equivalent of a chicken egg. The beauty of quails is that they start laying eggs as quick as 6 to 7 weeks old. They reach full maturity at 10 weeks old. And that is a good thing because, well, chickens, on the other hand, take a long time to mature, and definitely they take a lot longer than 6 to 7 weeks to start laying eggs. So if you want to secure your own egg supply today, this is my advice. Forget about chickens and go with quails. So let's discuss what are the benefits. First of all, those folks who live in the city and want eggs and can't find eggs, I think you will be the one who benefit the most when it comes to quails. Quails require little to no space. Quails are one of those animals that people don't know how they sound. In fact, only the roosters make a sound, and it sounds like a regular bird. So your neighbors will not even know that you have quails. You can have a quail laying eggs pretty much every single day as long as you provide them with some extra light. So imagine now having a little bird providing you a single egg every single day for the next 2 years. That is a lot of eggs. A lot of eggs. If you have a dozen quails, a dozen hens, all you need is a rooster. You don't need more. And if you don't even want a rooster, you don't have to have a rooster. You see what I'm saying? So they don't need a rooster to lay eggs. So if all you have is hens, that is perfect. Now you have your own supply of eggs. The problem that a lot of people, have with is that it costs a little bit of money to start with. You have to purchase the cages if you don't want to build it. You have to buy the food, perhaps get a timer for the lights. The lights are not that critical. I mean, having extra lights, just having in there is more than enough. And the heat, well, you having them inside, so you don't worry about heat. Dust may be a problem when it comes to quails, but as long as you have an air purifier right next to the cage, you'll be fine. That's what I have. I have mitigated that issue. I had that same issue last year. This year, after I put that air purifier right next to the cage, problem solved. Don't put it under, put it above the cage. It will catch all the dust and it's perfect. They don't smell as people may think. What I do on the trays underneath, I put pee pads, the same ones that I use for my pugs. I change it every 3 days. Perfect. Meaning that I have very little dust, very little smell in my prepper shed. They are fairly quiet, and I have a steady supply of eggs. So initial cost may be something for you to consider. What I'm going to do for you all is I'm going to leave a link in the description below. I have zero affiliation with this company, zero whatsoever, but I do buy my eggs from them, or I did buy my eggs when I started. So if you are interested in buying eggs, you can definitely go with them. If you live in Fairbanks and you are interested in getting eggs locally, you can most definitely contact me. If you want to buy birds during springtime, you can definitely contact me. I will probably do the same thing that I did last year. Hatch some, keep some, sell some. Possibility. It's completely up to you. I'm here to tell you that there are solutions for you to deal with the whole egg shortages. And let me put it like this. Yes, it may be something that you may have to learn, but you will not be dependent on the store. And this is the issue that we have. We are dependent on the store. Once you become independent, self-sufficient, well, you don't have to worry about what's going on. Right now, I don't have to worry about, because I can come here, collect eggs, and I have no problem. Although my quails right now are not laying as much because I reduced the daylight so they can molt and they can divert that energy that they use to lay eggs into new feathers. But they still lay some eggs, not as much, but they do. They do molt maybe twice a year. It's not that critical. It's not that crazy. What I do to help them is I increase the protein intake in their food. I buy a bag of mealworms and I've just given to them freeze-dried mealworms. Once they're finished, I increase the light back again. By that time, they have brand new feathers. They look good, and they start laying eggs yet again. It takes about a month. You don't have to do it. I just like doing it for the benefit of my birds. That's all. Now, cages, it all depends who you go with. That's all depending on you. You can go on Amazon and find cages that will suit you. Mines are plastic. They work really well. They have the water. It came with the water system. It came with the feed system. And they have worked perfect for me. Perfect. Again, I am including a link in here. This people do sell different cages. Again, no affiliation whatsoever. I don't get kickbacks. Nothing at all. Or you can make your own cage. They are not that difficult. They're small, really small birds. Meaning that, I mean, you can literally put them in a corner like you will have a fish tank. Having a dozen eggs a dozen hens don't take that much space, and be a project for your kids. Be like, hey, this is what we do, and let's have you learn how to raise quails. They are not they are docile birds. They don't peck at you or anything like that. And even if they do, it's just so soft. I mean, they're so little. In fact, I know folks who have quails as pets. If you do a little search online, you will find people with pets that they are quails, and they still lay eggs no matter what. So that's my advice to y'all. There are ways to circumvent this whole egg shortage and whatnot, but right now I don't think it's the time for you to get into chickens, mainly because with the whole flu thing going on, we don't know what the government may implement. They may go around and put it in an emergency order, saying you have to euthanize all your chickens, whether they are backyard chickens or not. Some of you may resist. Some of you may want to bring it inside. But chickens do take a lot more space, and chickens do create a lot more poop, for that matter. So keep those things in mind. Quails, on the other hand, don't have regulations. Nobody cares about them. If you live in a small place, you can have them. I'm telling you all this because I have been raising quails now for a bit. Nobody knows how the quail looks like. I mean, the common people don't even know how the quail looks like. They don't see the little thing on top, and they don't even think that's a quail. So I'm going to leave everything in the description below. Hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that gives you a path forward to get your own supply of eggs. Again, if you want to do it from eggs, you won't have to get an incubator. You don't have to get an expensive one. Go into Amazon, see what you can get. You will have to order the eggs either from a local person or from a website. Once they hatch between 17 to 18 days. I have times that they hatch up to 19 days, but that's very unusual, to tell you the truth. Once they hatch, you move them into a brooder. That's a small cage with a little heater and a lamp. They will stay there for a couple of weeks. After that, then you can move them into something bigger if you want to. Or if your brooder is big enough, you can leave it in there until they are like, I don't know, 4 weeks old, a month. And then you can bring it into the regular cages. And that's it. That is it. Now, at the very beginning, I will say this. When they're little tiny, about for an entire week, be careful how much food you give them, because if you give them big chunks, they're just too little. So you're gonna have to get their food, and their food needs to be high in protein. You're gonna have to get it and put it in your blender if you want to. This is what I do, and just tap it a couple of times so it can be grind a little bit, so they can be easy for them. It is a recommendation to add vitamins to the water. You don't have to. I do it, and I tell you what, if I put 60 eggs, I get a significant amount of hatchery. Once I get all my hatch and I put it in my brooder, if I lose 1 or 2, because sometimes they go crazy, it's a lot. I usually don't lose any hatches already. So they are the most pretty things when they're hatched. They are just tiny little things, no bigger than a quarter. Once you hatch one time, you're gonna be hooked for life. That's all I'm gonna say. So beyond having your own egg supply, you're gonna find yourself enjoying a hobby of raising quails, so satisfying and therapeutic that you will never leave it. I hope this video helps and give you ideas of how to mitigate and secure your egg shortages, if you have any. If you don't, let me know down in the comment section below. I'm curious to know. And with that being said, I hope you have a great one. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.